welcome to the 21st instalment of Liquor and Lyrics, the podcast that's taken a sideways look at some of the most popular songs of all time, all whilst done under the influence of a couple of drinks, which is how everything should be done. With me, Nick, and joining me as ever, as risky as Stevie Wonder taking his forklift driver's test, it's Dan. Hello, Dan.
Run for Your Life by the Beatles. So not a song I'd ever heard of by the Beatles. It's interesting that this is the first one to come up by chance, a chance finding, because I couldn't believe it when I read the lyrics, I'll be honest with you. Because, I mean, I never saw the Beatles as... I mean, there's a lot of issues with some members of the band. John. The booze, the big boozers. Beatles, probably, I reckon.
But yeah, bit of this, bit of that.
John, certainly. Yeah.
Yep. I am drinking. I've gone back to my favourite brewery because my life's not turned out how I wanted it to. So I've become a guy who has a favourite brewery now. So I'm back on Tiny Rebel 505. I am on tonight. Mango and citrusy.
The stereotype of a white dude in his 30s, aren't you? The favourite brewery. Yeah. Not even a favourite brewery, a favourite microbrewery. I wanted to stick to the Beatles theme, but I couldn't really find a Beatles cocktail. So, but I could find like individual Beatles song cocktails. Not one for this, obviously, not being one of the hits, you might say, and I think we know why. I think it links to a song that I don't think we'll ever actually do, so I thought that works. Juicy Lucy is the name of the cocktail. Vodka, vodka, orange juice, Dan's favourite blue curacao for the connoisseurs, and Sprite. You know, similar to one I've had before, but the orange juice gives it another level, and you may think it's blue, but it's got a weird green colour because of the mix of the orange juice and the blue. Do you know when you're in art at school and you've got that cup that you dip your paintbrush in with water in? By the end of the class, that's what it looks like. And but I have to say, it's quite nice. It's quite nice. That's nice,
exactly what I look for in a drink.
The orange juice had a nice flavor. Lennon designated it as his least favourite Beatles song in a 1973 interview, distancing himself from it.
Say that one,
he also stated that it was one of George Harrison's favourites on Rubber Soul. I'm throwing Harrison under the bus. So basically, he wrote it, and then when people were like, this seems a bit weird, the lyrics, he was like, I never liked it, but George Harrison, he fucking lapped it up. He loved it. Yeah. Anything about women being beaten up, killed it. It's Harrison for you. Well, John, we heard about it was your sketchy past that people were, no, Harrison, always bloody Harrison. Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man.
I mean, you know it's bad when we don't even have to get into normally.
No spin on
girl, it'd be what we'd pick on.
Well, we certainly will, but
doesn't even register.
It's not as bad when the person's saying, I'd rather see you dead than to be with another man. Although, however, I will say the little girl certainly adds another layer of terror underneath the... If it was just I'd rather see you dead, girl, than to be with another man, it'd kind of be like, okay, well, girl, young woman at the same time as them. But the little girl makes it not only sinister, but also condescending at the same time. So that's good, isn't it? That's always a double whammy that you want when you're writing lyrics. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. I mean, even darker. How far do you think you could run for your life?
Not very.
No, I can't imagine.
I've got long legs, so I could get far, but I'd get out of breath and probably fall over.
Yeah, I feel like you're a slim man with long legs, so you would deceive us in thinking that you probably could run far, but the truth is that you're so out of shape and unhealthy that you'd cripple almost immediately when tasked with running for your life.
Very much gone to seed. I mean, if I'm just walking for my life, then I think I'd be done by the time I got to
there. Walk for your life. What's the killer doing crawling? Walk for your life. I was walking at a slower pace behind you. Like,
that's what Stephen Hawking said to his missus when he caught her cheating. I think he was cheated on a few times. I think that's why he ended up on Epstein's Island, isn't it? Not there to discuss science.
How far? Well, you don't know. Maybe he was trying to turn Epstein's Island into like a modern day Thunderbird Island afterwards. Start with the sex stuff, move on to the Thunderbirds.
Oh, he died too young in that case. Or maybe
imagine a kids' puppet show called Epstein's Island.
Is the professor? Hello. How do you reckon they got
It's
in
Prince
there?
Andrew just sweating profusely. Well, I don't normally sweat.
Ripping him. Someone following him around with a mop. That's how he ended up
from
in this mess.
Epstein's Island as a puppet show for Thunderbirds now. Parker, he'd be the one you'd worry about, innit? Yeah. Too stoic for me. Yeah. Too stoic. But
saw some things in the war though about.
Saw some things where he's Lady Penelope's in the back seat, I imagine. Which Thunderbird do you think would be the rapiest Thunderbird? I always thought the one that was underwater, Scott. I always thought Scott that was the blonde one. He didn't look like he didn't look like the others. I used to think, was he like adopted or his mum cheated on the dad or something? He didn't look anything like the others, but
and they embraced him as one of their own anyway.
Yeah, but they didn't because they thought, well, one of us has got to go live underwater in the thing. And they're like, well, send Scott because he's the black sheep of the family, isn't he? So we all know Mum shagged the island groundsman.
Getting up to all sorts.
Well, you know that I'm a wicked guy.
Yeah, you tell him.
Old meaning of wicked then, because now wicked's like good, isn't it? Like wicked. Well, it was about 15 years ago. He's wicked. He's wicked, isn't he? He's wicked good. 20 good. 20 years ago. Oh, but wicked is also a bit camp now as well, isn't it? You know that I'm a wicked guy.
You are wicked.
You are wicked. Ooh. The guy in the office, and you like, will you send Sheila that fax? And you go, oh, yeah, I might send it in a couple of hours. You know what she's like? He goes, oh, you're wicked, you, and leaves the room.
Oh, can I be wicked?
Oh, I'll have one. And I was born with a jealous mind. How would you know that you were born that way?
Jealous mind.
A jealous baby. That woman's tits are better than my mum's. More milk in those bad boys. I'd rather be sucking on that. Thank you very much.
Letting things slip here.
Not the best incubator in the place, but yeah, whatever.
That baby's got bigger balloons than me.
Great. Going home in a Volvo, are we? Excellent. Saw a Porsche over there, but a Volvo will do, I guess. Oh, great. 2 up, 2 down, council house. Excellent. Just what I wanted when I was in the womb for 9 months, to come out into a bigger shithole. Excellent. Just what I needed. How would you know a jealous baby from an adult perspective where you can't understand the internal monologue of the baby? Looking at like bigger tits going... Yes, please. Like a bit of that.
On them. What's got your gums around them?
Definitely, it was worth being brought into existence by you two pair of twats. Definitely worth it.
To be born. I say jealousy is one of the characteristics that you certainly wouldn't get. Same with sarcasm. You'd never see like a sarcastic baby, would you?
Say dada. Do something worth talking about, and I'll say your name then.
Really,
and I just can't spend my whole life trying just to make you toe the line. It doesn't look like she's the one that has the problem, to be honest. Where does toeing the line come from?
As these things so often are, it's a nautical saying, as pretty much all big sayings are. The most likely origin of the term goes back to the wooden-decked ships of the Royal Navy during the late 17th or early 18th century. Now, here's a phrase I'm going to attempt to get through that you're particularly going to enjoy. Just these next 2 words. Barefooted seamen had to stand at attention for inspection.
I'm done already.
And had to line up on deck along the seams of the wooden planks, hence to toe the line. There we go.
Sounds like a good Saturday night to me.
Not nearly. I can't believe that for like 15 years England had a goalkeeper whose name was Seaman, and I never laughed at it. Well, there used to be a joke that went round, and it was, when Beckham scores, we drink Becks. When Scholes scores, we drink Skoll. Thank God David Seaman's a goalkeeper.
It's close to Seaman here, but let this be a sermon. I mean everything I've said. Baby, I'm determined, and I'd rather see you dead. There's no going back from that evidence either, is there really? If this was a real... Imagine the police interrogation. We're a detective duo, so we're the... he's a good cop or the bad cop? I think you'd be the good cop for some reason. I'm leaning towards you being the good cop.
Oh,
I think you'd... Okay, you be the bad cop then. I'll be the good cop. You be the criminal and the bad cop, and I'll be the good cop and his solicitor. interview begin with John Lennon at 8:15 on March 21st, 1965. John, we found the body of one, I don't know, Marcia Smith. In the field, shot to death. Looked like she'd been running for a while.
That sounds like a name you've made up.
Well, we're not lyricists like you. We don't make stuff up. We just look at the facts, John. So, can you not make jokes at my client, please? It's unprofessional. Can we just stick to the facts, please? Trying to. Okay.
Don't like your little glasses, Lennon. You look like a dweeb in your glasses.
You're not supposed to step in yet. You're not supposed to step in yet. We've rehearsed this. We had a neighbour nearby that heard the altercation, and eyewitness that gave us a transcript of the conversation. And we're going to read this out, and you tell us if any of this sounds familiar, John. Is that okay? But before we do that, can we get you a coffee, a drink, anything like that?
Urban, neat.
Luckily, it's 1965, so that is possible. So we'll get you that brought in. So, okay, first she said she heard you say to Marcia, "Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man."
It's just a fucking figure of speech.
Maybe in the docks of Liverpool, but I've never heard that one myself, really. Any comments on whether you remember? So you're admitting that you said it then? By saying it's a figure of speech. I don't think that's quite what my client said.
Trying out a fucking song on her.
John, shut the fuck up, John. Right, so we clarified that you have said that then. Great. Good. You better keep your head, little girl, or I won't know where I am. We weren't quite sure what you meant by that, John, really. If indeed you did say it, which I think, considering you confirmed the first line, can we confirm that you did say that one as well?
I just want her to be nice. All I'm asking for is for her to be nice.
Okay. That's
too much to ask, is it?
No. Oh, here's your bourbon. Just get that to you. There you go. Have a nice drink there. That's good for you. Good lad. By the way, I'm a fan. Just to clarify. But that's irrelevant here. No. Won't be trying to get in a sentence with evidence. Just my daughter loves the Beatles and she wouldn't mind seeing you live. The sold out gig next week. That's so anything, my partner, anything to say at this point before I move on with the transcript?
Yeah. Your trousers look stupid.
Great, good stuff. Always good input there. Yep. I went to university. He was part of the Bringing the Working Class initiative that we had. As you heard you shout, "You better run for your life if you can, little girl." Really just more of the same of what you said earlier there, John. I think we can assume that you probably said that again. Can we just a figure of speech again? Was it that one?
I was trying out my song on her. George loves it.
Are you trying to? Oh, George loves it. How is George Harrison? What's he like in real life?
It's all poetry. It's all poetry.
Was Paul involved? Paul's my favourite.
Seething. I pretend I didn't hear that, officer.
Can't really say it in this setting, but you are my favourite. No way. Yeah, I'm Paul's my favourite. Yeah.
Well, it's like because I'll be recording. I'll be writing and recording music for at least another 18 years or so.
Good. Yeah.
Probably beyond.
Yeah, if you have any police security detail and you're in places like New York, anywhere like that, where serious things can happen, I'm always looking for extra work outside of the police force privately. So if you do need that, just to get, I don't know what happens to rock stars. Maybe some, I don't know, some obsessed super fan that loves you or something like that. No idea, but just in case.
Not with me. Not with my fans.
Got my number. Oh, okay, fair enough. Don't say it wasn't offered. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Now, this one's confusing because you weren't really near the beach, and you can't mean the famous. You can't say this one's a figure of speech because the figure of speech is bury your head in the sand and has no context to anything that you've said before. So, and you weren't near a beach; you were in the concrete jungle that is the centre of Liverpool, not near the docks or the beaches or anywhere. So, yeah, weird one that, John.
Can I be honest with you, officer? I was a bit high. I smoked some grass. I smoked some grass with Ringo. Ringo brought it. And then he wrote some song called Yellow Submarine, and I realised he smoked too much.
You think you know the world, and then you find out the Beatles do drugs. Sometimes I think I'm too old for this. I don't know. Rock stars doing drugs. What's the world come to? Role models, some would say. Yeah. Oh, anything to say?
Yeah,
Partner?
you won't see that nice Mr. Jagger doing drugs.
You'll see Jagger doing drugs as much as you'll see him having sex with men, being one of those homosexuals. Imagine that. Oh, I don't know. Who's next in your crazy rock star world? We're gonna find out David Bowie does drugs and has sex with men. Bloody hell. I never.
Bloody
But
puffs.
that's not well, it is really good. 1965. Say it again. It's fine. It's fine to say. Catch you with another man. That's the end, little girl. It's quite definitive, that, John, in terms of a threat, I would say.
No, it's the end of the relationship. Well, there is some judgment, quite clearly.
Oh, that's the end of the relationship, is what you mean.
Right. Under caution, so there's definitely some judgment involved somewhere.
End of the relationship, yeah, that would be more believable, John, if the eyewitness also hadn't seen you in a dressing gown waving a pistol in her face when you shouted it. But let's just assume it is the end of the relationship at this point of the conversation. Put a pin in that. You then said, well, you know that I'm a wicked guy. Now it's
cool.
1965.
All the kids will be saying it in 40 years' time.
Never heard that one myself.
I'm so up to date with all the new slang that people don't even know my new slang. You come back to me in 40 years' time when I'll still be recording and writing music and come and tell me.
4 daughters, and I've never heard that as a slang, really. You're not camp either, so I know that you're not meaning that use of it. So, you're famously not that camp. And then he said, and I was born with a jealous mind. Quite jealous of you, John? You jealous of Paul? Is that it? Is that where all this comes from? Well, you're jealous of Paul and how much everyone thinks that he's the genius, and you're just a wife-beating maniac.
Shit, wobbly head, the cunt. God almighty. No, when I was a baby, I was getting breastfed by my mother, and I noticed that her friend had a bigger set of whammers, so that set me off on a jealous path very early on.
That does sound like you from what I know about you, so no, let's believe. Okay, we'll move on. We do need an answer for you here, because in terms of evidence and in terms of how this is going to sound to a jury, this next bit is quite definitive in terms of the murder case. So we found her dead, clearly, using the pistol that we found with your prints on it in the house. And the eyewitness saw you brandishing the pistol in a dressing gown, waving it around in her face, and you shouted a minute before the gunshot was heard, and then you left the house and were seen being driven away by Ringo. Let this be a sermon. I mean everything I've said. Baby, I'm determined, and I'd rather see you dead.
Can I level with you, officer? Can I ask you a serious question? Is this just one big fit up to get some tickets for one of my gigs?
Guilty as charged. Oh, just, daughter's birthday's coming up. She loves you. My daughter would love to go backstage unchaperoned. If that's okay. She wouldn't want her dad there messing around, I'm sure you'll all look after her. You wouldn't get her doing anything that you wouldn't want your own daughters to do or anything like that, obviously. So
we'll have to get you out of here now, Mr. Lennon. We're questioning Johnny Cash about shooting a man in Reno just to watch him die. So he's up next.
And I tell you what, never has there been a more inappropriate use of a na 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 after that set of lyrics. But na 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 na.
It's the least na 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 song ever.
There's no need for going out with na na na, is there? I've just killed a woman. Na 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 na. Isn't life great? Inappropriate. Yeah. Next week is well, you can call another classic band for many, I'm sure. Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. Hopefully, it won't be about murdering women.
Not just